Welcome to our first installment of our new video series, When the Generals Talk, You Better Listen to Him. As you might know, Macquarie has just entered a second running team called the Generals into the Sydney Corporate Cup, which is a bit of an institution in and around Sydney. It's a race where about 40 teams from all the corporates around in Sydney are competing, with about 600 runners out in the field. And as the team captain, I thought I would gather some facts and top tips and inspiration and motivation from the professionals. And today I have the immense pleasure and honor of being with Jeffrey Hunt, our very own Jeffrey Hunt. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Good. Glad to get out of the office and have a good chat.
That's great. So, Jeff, I know I've read on your website, and I know that you've competed in the Commonwealth Game of Australia, in the Olympics, and you've got lots of titles to your name. But my first question to you is, which race are you the proudest of, and why?
Okay. So the race I'm most proud of is my first marathon. So I went into it with a year of planning, and we went planning that I was going to try and just run 2:14 to try and just make the team for the Commonwealth Games in 2010. And I went out in roughly 66 and came home in 65 minutes. At the time, I closed the last 10k. I ran just above 30 minutes. It was a PB on road 10k at the end. So that was really good because there was a bit of expectation, but then I knocked it out of the park. It also made me the debut record holder for Australian marathon runners. So I'm the fastest person in their first marathon, and that currently has me still sitting, I think, around 11th all time in Australian history.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing record. Now, in my team, we've got about 15 runners, and some of them are runners in their own merit and having run for a long time. Some others are a bit newer, a bit greener. So what would be your top tips for any new runner?
Top tips is not rush it. So build up.
That sounds a bit counterintuitive, right?
yeah. Everyone gets excited, especially when it starts to become easy. It's about consistency, not about getting up to as much mileage as you can or trying to run as fast as you can. It's like if you can only get out and do 20 minutes, only get out and do 20 minutes and do what your body feels. So you might run, a couple of K in 20 minutes one day, you might run 2K the next day, right? But at least you're still doing it. And what happens is your body figures itself out. You don't try to rush it. Need to make sure you get enough sleep. It's something I should practice what I preach. But yeah, it's just that consistency. Start, do it every couple of days, and then slowly build it up and up and up until you get to a comfortable time frame. But don't overdo it, because then that's when you hate running and you get sore and you just don't want to do it.
Great. Now a bit more technical. Can we go a bit more technical and talk about?
Maybe I'm pretty simple.
Talk about gadgets. Are you pro gadgets or against gadgets? I mean, everyone has got a Garmin watch and another sensor. I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I guess from gadgets, I've got my Garmin Forerunner, my GPS, and that goes quite well. I waited until it got to the actual watch-shaped one first, but literally that's it. I don't wear a heart rate monitor or anything like that. I'm like I said, I'm pretty simple. It's there to track. That's it, to tell me how far I've gone, how fast I've gone, but I don't watch it. I don't even have the K splits turned on. It just gives me the average overall. Like I said, no heart rate monitor. I've never ran with music ever in my life. I can't stand it. I like to hear what's going on around me. But yeah, apart from that, about the closest thing I've come to gadgets is back when I was sponsored. I always got the latest gear, so I got the prototype things. So that was always good, mainly in the shoes.
Right. And what about water? And consumption of water on the different races you've taken part in?
It's good that you bring that up. Yes, because I found that Facebook post that someone was talking about the 40 odd degree days and what you do for hot weather, and I chimed in. So I like to try and hydrate all the time. So something I never used to do. I was really bad, really poor at it. So I take on as much water as I can generally throughout the day, because then I'm okay for the hot weather. I actually don't take, unless it's really, really hot, I don't take on any fluid at all until I've gone to the marathon, like gone past a half marathon, which for me is okay because I only run like 63 minutes, right? So it's more about the time that you're out there. So if you're out there for maybe an hour and a half, an hour 45, 2 hours, that's when you start to want to actually take on fluid, and you're probably more so than just water. You want to have like Gatorade. And the way that you do it in the marathon is I don't even mix it normal. I half strength it in the first half, and then you sugar load in the back half. Because you want that kick, because you're dying at that point in time.
That sounds like a plan. Now I've got, that's all great top tips. Now I've got one last question, a bit more philosophical, because I've seen on your websites that...
Which is lacking development at the moment. Lacking blog posts.
Which still looks great, and it's testament to your technology skills and background. But you are not only a runner, you are also a dad and a husband.
Yep.
And so I wanted to know what has running brought to your life as a whole, both on the good side and on the less good side.
On the less good side, I'll start with, is it's taken away a lot of my money, and I earn better than most athletes that are in the country. So I've had to hold down a full-time job, so I probably never reached my potential. I never really got the best out of myself, and I've still done pretty well. What it has enriched my life, I've gotten to fly overseas for nothing. I'm healthy. I struggle to find clothes in my size because I'm too small and they don't stock enough of my size. And yeah, it's good, a good sort of culture within our household, because my wife runs and she exercises, is that my daughter who's at school, we go out and we ride bikes. She knows that we run while she rides her bike. We go to the beach. We're very active people, and so it means that's what she knows. She doesn't like my daughter hates the iPad, hates watching telly. She just wants to go outside, and I think that's what's been really good and what it's brought about. But it's also me being the athlete, that competitiveness in me has made me never be satisfied with what I do, and want to. I've brought it across into my work life as well, and so that means I can be pretty ruthless when I'm trying to achieve something, but at the same time, it has enriched me.
Perfect. And I think that's the gong of the end.
It's telling me to stop talking because I have a tendency to waffle.
Perfect timing. Thank you so much, Jeff. It's been a pleasure. And to all of you runners and wannabe runners, sport addicts, we'll see each other next time. Until then, stay healthy and see you out there on the running track.